Hi everyone, welcome to Homerino Collectibles, where today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Generations Platinum Edition Unicron. Now this is the Transformers the movie 30th Anniversary Edition. It did come out in 2016 and it's still rolling out right now. If at all, anywhere where you could find it. The first rollouts of this were actually sold out. There is currently a reissue happening of this guy right now, so if wherever you bought this guy from, which by the way, this guy is available at Big Bad Toy Store, then you can actually still go ahead and get this figure. It is being reissued. I know that in a couple of places they've started to put pre-orders up of the reissue right now, so if they did sell it and they sold out, they are getting some more shipments of this, so don't worry, this thing is still available for you. So, it is held together on the front with a flap with some Velcro right there, and you can see the figure inside. And then we have some awesome kind of G1 looking stuff right there. Now, this is basically the Armada Unicron. We've had quite a few different variations of this guy. So, we had the Armada one, then I think it may have been re-released in the Energon line as well, because he was in Energon as well, but he was like purple right then. Then we also got him again, I think, in the Universe line. I know that in 2010 there was a commemorative version, which was basically this one. They brought out this head sculpt, so he does not have the Armada head sculpt. He has a more classic G1 movie looking Unicron head sculpt, which is awesome. And in the paint for that one, they actually had like a black wash in a lot of these details and stuff, like on all the orangey kind of parts, which looked fantastic. But then the rest of him, like down here we have the light grey and the light blue, which is actually how he looked in G1, so that was fantastic in the movie. But they actually had that as kind of like a greyish kind of green, which looked good, but it just wasn't accurate. And also the eyes were still red, just like the Armada version. What we get here is actually green eyes. So this thing is now the most accurate Generation 1 Unicron that we have gotten as of yet. So not only have we got the G1 accurate paint scheme, we also have the G1 accurate head, but now we've taken it a step further and we actually have the G1 accurate eye color. Finally, he has the accurate green eyes instead of red eyes. Capable of devouring entire planets, Unicron is the most powerful, destructive force in the universe. He is the greatest threat the Autobots have faced, and he will stop at nothing short of total conquest. Let's go ahead and get this thing open and take a closer look. And here he is in the planetary mode. You can actually hold up to 27 minicons at a time in this mode. So you got one on each side of the ring here, and that goes all the way around. You got one on each side right here, and then you've got this one in the center here. 27 minicons. That is insane. So you do actually have some firing missiles right here. So you have three. They all fire at the same time. You don't actually need to use the minicon to access it. You just actually pull that up and it will fire those. There is another mechanism that is fired using the minicon in robot mode, which you can't obviously use right now. This shell is covering it. We do have the chomping feature right here as he devours planets right there. You can actually see it better if I rotate it this way. Now, as you can see, this is how we are used to seeing Unicron, him coming at you like this, and then obviously he can go ahead and chomp away just like that. That looks really, really awesome. That is actually how he is devouring planets in the movie and also in the Armada, so that is really, really cool. Now, when you do bring it around to the back, obviously, you don't get a shell there covering it. It still looks pretty decent and everything. It still looks kind of round. And for a toy, it's perfectly fine. But, I mean, if you're going for G1 accuracy, it's not all that great because, obviously, you do want to look at this guy like this. You can get stands on the market that are going to hold this up like this as well. However, obviously, if you just get this on its own, you have to display it like that. And if you do, it looks good from there. As soon as you flip it around to here, you just see his face right there. Now, there's a couple of connectors down here that look like something should be able to slot in place and cover it, but nothing comes with this, and I don't know of anything that does cover that. So if you know how to cover this, or if there should be something to cover it, go ahead and let me know. There's nothing in the instructions, at least, about covering that up, so no idea if it's supposed to be or not. Hopefully it should be, because that's just kind of a big open part, and it's just kind of strange that it's left there like that. So that is the second big downside of this thing. You do get that gap, and then obviously it doesn't come with its own stand to go ahead and lift it up. Now, to transform this guy, even the instructions tell you that you should go ahead and remove these shell pieces. Another interesting thing is that the picture used in the instructions does actually have the Armada head still on there. So Yes, you can transform this guy without removing these two shell pieces, but once it's in the robot mode, it does look more accurate and look a lot better to the G1 if you don't have them on there anyway, because they do just become back kibble, and they are super easy to take off, and like I say, the instructions tell you to do so. So they're just clipped in down here at the bottom, and they are that easy to go ahead and remove. Now we're going to go ahead and just split apart these pieces right here, both front and the back. On the other side, they're actually attached in between these feet pieces right here, and once they're separated, they can be folded up and sort of put out of the way for now. You can do whatever you want with them. If you do want to transform this guy without them for now, they just so it's a little bit easier, they also can just unpeg at a couple of points. So now that we have this ball of Unicron, we're going to go ahead and rotate these sections down. They quite obviously are the legs, and you can hear those really heavy ratchets inside. Very, very important that a figure this big is heavily ratcheted so that it stays upright. We're going to rotate these side pods. The feet sections here are going to rotate all the way down. These flip around, and there we have one foot. Coming up to the top here then, the arms are going to separate from one another, rotate forward, and then they come up and both peg into place up at the top. Then we can go ahead and rotate these around, pull the hands out. This waist piece down here can be brought up and pegged into place. The arms are going to come down in these shoulder pieces, slide up just like so. Bring the camera up just a little bit more. We can rotate the head forwards, lift the horns up, and then if we come around to his back right here, here's those connectors that we saw before. So these bits right here where the shell's attached to, you don't really need that anymore, obviously, if you're not going to have the shells on there, but that's where they would go anyway if you were to use them still. Instead, we're just going to go ahead and use these pieces, and they just peg back into where they came from. And so there it is, built up in all of its glory. Obviously, if you did have these shell pieces, you're going to have something that size hanging off his back and just ruining the silhouette. So it is very much best to go ahead and just take that off and leave it to one side. Now when he's in this mode, he does actually have a few more Minicon ports, because he actually has one on each shoulder right here, and they do actually kind of rotate in there. If I bring the arm forward, you can see that right there, and they do rotate. So you can go ahead and peg this in right here and have a rotating gun turret on his shoulder. So he has a couple of light up features in this mode. We have the light up eyes, which, yes, do light up red, as you can see. If I go ahead and just turn one of these lights off here, you can see that. They do light up red, and obviously you do get the green lens. So they have kept the red light from the Armada version, which I think is perfectly fine. Then you obviously get your accurate green color when the lights are off. That's perfectly fine. Over here we also get the red light up hand, so it is still a clear hand. You go ahead and push the hand in, and then that lights up too. I think that's really, really cool that we do still get those light up features. Now he does have a firing missile within his chest, and also you can still fire these missiles down here on his leg too. So you just put the Minicon on the side there, or you can just go ahead and pull this forward, and all three of those will go ahead and fire. So coming around to his back here, we have a Minicon port right there. As soon as you peg a Minicon port into that, well actually, yeah, that's an extra Minicon port as well. So the one that you lose from the shell, you get that one on the back, and then you get two extras over there. So that's what, 29 altogether? And if you keep the shell on, that's like what, 30 Minicon ports? That is insane. But if you go ahead and peg this one into his back, this will start up, and then that will fire. My hand was kind of in the way there, obviously, and I did want to kind of stop this from just shooting directly at the camera right here, but this is the missile that goes inside. It's kind of spring-loaded, so it comes out, opens up. Obviously, this isn't from the show or anything. That's just a nice little play feature. It has a decent spring on it. It doesn't go super far, but it does shoot out pretty well. However, this is from the show, so in robot mode, this is then how it carries on devouring the planets. It sucks it in through the chest there, which I think is awesome. I think that looks really cool for something that's like a world eater. Also, it looks really cool as just a massive cannon to go ahead and fire. I know a lot of people don't like this feature. They think it's kind of a stupid play feature because of the spring thing and everything. But personally, I love that it's here because it's accurate from the show. And also, just that itself looks really, really cool to me. And then to reset this, you go ahead and just push this thing in. Push it all the way in until it clicks, and there you go. And obviously, you do see the eyes light up when that happens too. You can open this up, and it's not going to fire. So this waist piece that's pegged in, you bring that down, and then this piece right here can actually come down, and you have room in there to store a Minicon. So you can put one in there. It's been trapped, it's been devoured, and then you can go ahead and close that up. So I think that is a really, really nice feature as well. Now don't worry, I haven't forgot, the Minicon Krennic obviously is a Transformer too, so you got this gun section right here. The legs flip down, and then these feet sections rotate and flip up. The arms flip all the way up to the top, they rotate around and they come down. That's the other side as well. Rotate the arms, bring it down, and then that is Krennic's fully transformed. I honestly don't think it's one of the best Minicons out there. I really don't like this dude all that much at all. He doesn't have super recognizable hands. The gun's kind of cool. The face doesn't really have much of a face, but it's a Minicon. It transforms. I definitely think that it is better in its kind of moon mode as opposed to this one. But there you go. Now this guy up to these horn sections right here actually stands 15 inches tall. So a very, very tall Transformer that we've got on our hands. As a comparison, here is Voyager Megatron that we recently got, the Triple Changer Megatron. And he actually just about comes up to the waist there. So he is literally just over twice the size of a Voyager. Now in terms of articulation, the head kind of sucks. It does not rotate. Because of this feature, it does not rotate. So that obviously means that you do still see the face when it's in the alt mode. Obviously these wing sections do rotate and stuff in many different ways. At the back here, the shoulders can rotate all the way around, move in and out. Even these sections do pivot a little bit. And by the way, these are kind of a flexible rubber. These horns over here, which look fantastic over here on the arms, are also kind of flexible as well, so they're not going to go ahead and snap off or anything. So I am very, very happy about that. So the hands do rotate here, and then at the elbow, and then down here we have the rotation at the wrist. The thumb rotates, each individual finger rotates at 2 points, so you can get a really nice looking fist, just like so, or you can have the open hand, which is cool. Rotation there at the waist. You also get these sections here that move and these that move, which means that the hips can go all the way forward, all the way back, and all the way out to the side. Rotation there at the knee, a single jointed knee there as well, and then you get a bit of foot articulation forward and back, and even a little bit of toe pivot, and the whole foot does actually pivot slightly as well. You've got the accurate head sculpt, the accurate green eyes. Everything about this thing is fantastic. Yes, there are other versions like that 2010 Takara version that does have a kind of black wash through it, but then this kind of gold is a more darker orange, and the blues obviously are not the right color. So this right here is the compromise version of the best one you can get. So go ahead and pick this guy up if you want the best Unicron on the market. So thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give it a like, and if you want to see other videos from my channel, go ahead and check out the ones that are on screen right now, and subscribe for more Transformers. Check out my social media, the links are in the description. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.